Hi guys. Um Getting started a little late tonight. It's been a minute, hasn't it? And somebody is really out of practice. Some little music on here and we will get things going. Just give me 1 second to get into the groove. Boy, you've got to prove. Probably get shut down for singing Madonna. Okay, let's put in some background music. Who wants to have chill back? Lisa Allison, I think that's her name, Lisa Allison, Twin Flames. You guys might have seen her do lives before. She's so cute. She comes in and she's like dancing and hitting the drum. But you know what? I'm not that fancy. Put a little music on, and if anybody should come on in the next couple of minutes, if you could share this out, be so appreciative. And that's what I'm going to do just for a second. So I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I'm just sharing out while we wait for a couple of people to find me because I'm sort of starting late tonight. Okay, here we go. Let me just get. Ooh, I'm not even on my live. What is wrong with my voice tonight, you guys? I think I sang too much Broadway at karaoke last night. What the hell? Sorry. I said it. Let me turn that down so I can actually share out this live really quickly. Share to a group. I think I will. Thank you. And I'm just going to throw it up there on a few different places and we'll see if it actually goes through. A lot of these, there's like a delay, right? But give me just a second. And we're just going to kind of do our thing tonight, you guys. If you are finding me and you've never seen me before and you're like, what is this? I scheduled this live just to talk about, let me go to chat too, because I'm not even in the chat right now. Oh, Andrew. Oh, crap. You know what, Andrew, I was going to send you an invite because we're talking about the afterlife. And if you guys know Andrew, I don't know how to pronounce his last name because I would want to say Couté, as in the French would say, but Andrew is an amazing reader, you guys, and he definitely gets messages from the other side. So, Andrew, you probably don't have time, but if you do want to join me, I can send you a link to hop on and say hi at some point. I don't know how long I'll be on tonight, you guys, but Andrew's awesome if you get a chance. Hi, Carmen. So what I decided I was going to do tonight, this light is like right on my glasses. Sorry, guys. Let me try to, nope, not going to work. See what I mean? I'm so out of practice. How's that? Is that better? I don't know. Now you can't see me. But anyways, getting back, because I'm just like a little late tonight, is because, dude, you guys, it was the weirdest thing, okay? I wanted to tell you. I was on my way to do the live, right? And I don't know if it's just because Spirit dinner with people and Spirit already started coming through. I think because it's been a while since I've been on lives and it just was like excited and it started distracting me in the middle of what I was saying. And then on my way home, my dirty little secret is I stopped by Baskin Robbins. End of summer, I wanted some ice cream. So I drive in there, I get my ice cream, and backing out, my car sounded like it was gonna die. I don't even know what. I mean, nothing. There was no weirdness before that, and all of a sudden it was like chick 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 chick, almost like I was out of gas. And then my car went bing bing bing, and I was like, oh no, we're not doing this right now. Turned off my car, put in park, turned it off, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try again. And I turned it back on, and I was like, Spirit, I need you to help me out here because I really don't want to have a broker. And it wasn't the best neighborhood either. Just adjusting our little light back there. So here I am, and I start the car again, and I'm like, Spirit, I need your help here. What's wrong with the car? I don't want to it's a huge SUV, and I'd never be able to push it, right? So I put it into reverse, and it's fine. And I'm praying all the way home. I'm just like, please let me get this car home. Please let me get this car home before it breaks down, right? I get home and it was fine. I don't know. It was some weird, like I went into reverse. Does anybody know what that means? I don't even know what that means. It was like so random. And then I had another 10 minutes to drive home and nothing happened. So I mean, thank you, divine, right? I was like, oh no, I did not want to have to go through this, but I was so freaked out when I got home. I was so nervous, like the whole way home. You know how you're like, you're at the light and you're praying your car's not going to break down. It's making weird sounds and you're just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I got home and I was shaking. I was just literally shaking, like trembling. So I was like, okay, you have to take it down a notch, Sandra, just calm down. And for you that know me, I don't get excited very easy. So I thought to myself, this is a sign. I'm supposed to show you guys what I do. And I said do. But what I do, and hopefully you guys can do too, whether it's going to be you're stressed out or you're worried about bad energy from someone else, or you're trying to become more enlightened, right? So I'm going to go through my top 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go through my top 5 things. Now, I'm going to mention behind me, you can see there's a candle right there. Beep, it's a candle. Beep, 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 beep. It's back there a little ways. It's back there a little ways. And candles are great. Fire and water. Great cleanse our energy. So if you notice, I have a fireplace, but it's like 8-something degrees in here. I'm not lighting mine. So I just put a little candle back there, and also, of course, water. These, I'm not even going to put those in top 5. You all know them. A lot of you that get on my lives are readers yourself, and you're just like, Sandra, girl. But this is for people that don't know, and maybe they've never seen me before, and they have no idea. And Jacob is here. You guys, Jacob is another amazing person that I'm going to tell you guys, and you guys are going to be like, Sandra, let me tell you, okay? You guys know better than I do. You do what you do when you're supposed to do it. True. I mean, I don't know. It was weird, like the universe just decided. But as a side note, you guys, Jacob is so amazing, and he does these incredible for me, I love his meditations. He does a lot of life advice stuff too, and it's all good, but I just get blown away. I do his meditations, and I'm just like, for some reason, I haven't been catching them recently. I don't know if I have bad timing or it's Facebook at play, but Jacob and Andrew, actually, if you're still here, if you could list your pages, because me, I don't roll like, I'm not like weird and competitive. We all have our own gifts. So Andrew, if you're still listening, post up your Jacob if you're still listening. I know Jacob seems to be making that transition over to TikTok. He's leaving us all behind in Facebook. I'm just kidding. But hopefully he will post something about what he does. I get into my top 5 because I keep getting distracted. Hey guys, I got my Everlast on, and I got my America cap because it's Labor Day on Monday. So if you're in America, it's Labor Day, and I'm pretty patriotic. So just deal with it. Okay, so top 5, not necessarily in any particular order, just in the order of me grabbing it. This is Florida, and I'll tell you guys a weird story about Florida water. Must have been almost 20 years ago. I had a woman when I lived in LA, and she was from El Salvador, and I got really sick, guys. I got really sick, and she comes from like a culture, and she'd say, no, you have to get down, get your bra and panties on, lay down, and she would get this stuff out, right? She's like her personal whatever, and she would like massage me with this stuff, and I'd be like, what the hell is this stuff that she's doing? And she'd rub it all over me, and I was like, and she'd pray, and I was like, this is so weird. And I never saw this again for like 20 years. And then last Saturday, I was at a powwow for Native Americans here in Oregon, and I was invited to one, and they were selling this, and I saw the bottle, and for 20 years I've been looking for this, guys. All the time, I didn't know that it was actually Florida water, which a lot of you use regularly. And I didn't even know, and I would look for it. It smells kind of like alcohol. To me, it smells like alcohol with a little bit of fragrance. But anyways, Florida water, really good for clearing your energy. You can Justin likes to put a little on himself like this when he's getting ready to do spiritual work, and then sometimes he sprays me or whatever. So that's the first thing I'm going to tell you. The second thing is, when I was at my powwow last weekend, is I got these hand-dipped incense. Now, you guys all know incense, but you can get it from a source like this where they were hand-dipped. Obviously, these people were hand-dipped the incense. I really like it. I know if you can't, we don't have access to that. Always buy just regular incense. But again, it comes back to that fire thing, right? And then smoke. So yeah, incense, and it just smells really good. I think this one's like a nut champa. So that's number 2. Water, got incense, and all of you know about smudging and sage, and this happens to be mixed in with I don't know if you guys can see, it's got flower petals in it. And again, this was from the powwow, so this was hand tied, handmade. Okay. I mean, it smells like skunk, but burn a little bit of this. I put it around me. I take the Florida water, light the incense, which is burning actually right now in my fireplace. So that's 3. 4 would be Palo Santo, which depending on what part of the world you're in, it's harder to find than others. But Palo Santo, and the thing I learned is you want to look for dark stripes. Notice this one, and then I want you to look at this one. If you could choose between the two, well, that one has oh, well, that one's real. Okay, if you could choose between these two, you would pick this one. Why? Because of the dark red. I don't know why. I've just been told to look for the dark resin, so that's what I do for people that know better than myself. So Palo Santo, and I burn this and kind of pull good energy to me, and so that's another good one. This is one that some of you might not know about, and you might. And this is actually offered to the ancestors in the Native American culture. You bring gifts, right? When you go to a sweat lodge or a ceremony, you bring gifts to the ancestors. They like tobacco leaves, I hear, because back then it was hard to come by. But also this one. I don't even want to put it on my hand because you won't see it very well, but it's cool. And this is a resin. Let me get it closer. It almost looks like a piece of rock candy, right? For those of you that know what rock candy is. And this stuff is actually a resin from a tree. And we're saying, oh, you bring these to your ancestors and you offer them. So like if you're hoping for something and you want to call your, your guardian angels or people that have passed over to help you with what you're working on, you would offer this almost like as a gift to them. But I actually burn it. Burn it, and this is a big chunk, so I wouldn't burn a chunk. So I'll go in my little bag here. This is I'll show you the size of a chunk I would burn. It's about this size. And I actually put it on my Palo Santo and I burn it. But watch out, because this is highly flammable and it will flame to it. It gets very, very hot, you guys. Do not burn this unless you're burning it inside your fireplace or on a metal surface, because this thing, one night I had too big of a nugget on a Palo Santo, and man, the flame was this high. I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna start. So anyways, those are my top 5. So I've got, just to go over it, copal, and then I've got Palo Santo, and then I've got my smudging sticks, and then I've got what else did I say? Florida water, and I'm missing one. Oh, incense. And you guys already know because I showed you. So that's what we got here. And that's what I'm going to say to you if you guys are looking to clear the energy. And I know we're talking about afterlife, and I know a lot of times you guys feel things in your house that are disturbing to you, or you hear things and you want to clear. That's going to clear the energy. Palo Santo is more known for pulling in good energy. Sage would be known for creative energy. So it's almost like, imagine sage just to get the bad energy out, and then Palo Santo is to bring the good energy in. And someone very wise once told me, don't burn them together because it's confusing. It's confusing. The energy's wait, what are we doing? Are we clearing? Are we bringing in? So what I like to do is sage when I just today, I have that negativity from what happened in my car and those negative vibes and stuff. So this would be the one I would burn tonight. Tomorrow, I'd probably burn Palo Santo, in the morning. And Yeah, so that's what I do. So anyways, let's talk about the afterlife. And I'm gonna, forgive me, I don't have someone here to help me to in the comments. So there is Jacob. Okay, Jacob listed White Wolf, actually. Oh, I'm saying Jacob. White Wolf listed the Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom, and you can find him on Facebook. If you can't find him, just send me a message and I'll send you a link because I have followed him. Mila's here. Thank you, Mila. We're doing just a quick live to talk about some stuff. I've been getting a lot of questions about the afterlife, you guys, and also why I wasn't around. So they're kind of connected. So I'll explain to you guys. I haven't been doing live. And by the way, Justin would be here in Tweedledum. He is getting, and I tried calling him a little while ago, and the signal there is terrible. And he's enjoying his family time, so let's just leave him to do that. But starting in June, you guys, I was really stressed out. I think you might have seen me around that, a lot of lives and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, I got really sick, And I'm kind of like a person that keeps it on the down low. Hold on a second. If you guys are watching this, do be like Mila. Mila's awesome. Mila shared me out. Be like Mila. But I got really sick, you guys. And I mean, like really sick. It was bad. And it came on, it was energetically, how do I say this? It was brought on energetically. I mean by that, I mean that didn't work hard enough on bringing in the good energy and eliminating the bad energy. And I consider myself, somewhat knowledgeable on this subject. Well, it didn't work out that way. And I think a lot of it had to do with some work I was doing that had passed over. In any event, because of that, my physical body was compromised and I got really ill. And unfortunately, and a few people, Caroline Thomas knew my teacher, Carol Thomas from Caroline's cards. You can also look her up. But she initially just knew, but most people in my inner circle did not know that I was really. So when you sick, you guys, energetically, you're going to be a very low vibration. And I know some people will continue to read and they'll continue to do spiritual work while they're sick. But for me personally, I feel like I have to save my energy. I have to conserve my energy and not expend it. And you're probably thinking, well, why would you be expending your energy? Well, when I talk to the other side and when I read for people, I'm allowing, especially with the other side, okay? So I'm going to show you guys. This is how I talk to the other side. These are dowsing rods. And I was asked a couple questions about them, so I'll try to address that willingness. With dowsing rods, if I'm not connected, please don't connect with me. Please connect with me. Please don't connect with me. Okay, and I just do not connect. They're trying to connect right now. Okay, no, guys, don't connect. I'm kicking you out just for a second. You can come and just please disconnect. So do you guys notice how they're just kind of just doing their own wobbly thing? Okay. Now, when I want to talk to the other side, and I use these rods, right? That does rods. Interpret in a different way. So what I mean is what's yes no to one person might not be to another. But the bottom line is to answer from here. The spirit realm doesn't really have physical, isn't able to manipulate things, okay? They're not usually. Every once in a while, they offender. So for them to talk and move these rods, to keep them still, and then to answer and move them, takes energy. And so they need to kind of borrow my energy. I'm offering to them. I use my energy to move the rods, if that makes any sense. So it's like I'm moving the rods. No. But to get the fuel, I'll just call it like that. If you're a car, in order for that spirit, and I'm looking now, they're laughing at me. So in order for the spirit to connect, they have to be able to move these rods or move and right. So this takes my energy. And a lot of people that read tarot and stuff, I'm not really a tarot person. They will also feel the same thing. Their energy is being taken away. So, long story short, gone for July, because I just take the time to heal myself, to rejuvenate inside, into nature, to be at the ocean, to lavender, berries, to just the earth and heal. Right? Because if I'm not healed, I can't help other people. And honestly, I don't believe that the readings are as accurate when you're not feeling well. Readings can get it. So I am just getting on tonight to kind of answer for you guys any questions that you have in the afterlife, because I've been getting a lot of you guys some weird. I'm gonna just another thing. And oh hey, Caroline waving me. Hi Caroline. Let me bring Caroline. She's like, she's doing this. Let me do it. She doesn't say. She goes, we don't Sandra. Sandra. Miss Sandra. In Australia. Which I love. Hold her in. She's gonna give me a hard time. I already know. Hold on, I'm bringing you in, Caroline. This is my teacher, you guys, Caroline Thomas. One second. Takes a minute for me here. No, it's okay. I'm working on it. I promise. It's been long since I've been over for me, baby. Click over. I see you. I know. I see you waving at me. Hold on. Come on, Mama. Come on. Join me. How do I do it? Hard. Where are you? Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to bring in Caroline. Let me turn. There she goes. And hold on. I'm just turning up and in here. See if we can get her. A second. It's just a little bit slow. Come on. I see you. Why aren't you joining me? You're here. Just give it just a second. Okay. I did click on her. And she's not joining me on the screen. So I'm working on it here. There's me. Caroline. I can do it. Oh, here we go. Save. Bring me in. I know. Dang. Caroline, hold on. I see you. Hold on. I had you on it for a second. I wonder if 1 second. Just trying to bring on. Hi, Jamie. Hold on. I swear I'm pressing it. Stop.
No,
Stop.
yeah.
It's not you. It's not you, Caroline. It's me. It's not you. It's me. I'm just gonna be chill, and then I know it's gonna work. I know you're trying to like show me stuff. I know. Why is it not letting me?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, you sent me a message? No, but like it should just join. Just should be joined because I've done this a million times. Let me see what you said. I just got your message, Caroline. Hold on.
I'm here.
Hold on, you guys. It's so much easier when we do this before we go live, because then once you bring them in later, it's like so complicated. I'm trying to turn this off. It works.
Hello.
See you. See you. It's just not listening to me at all. You guys, I want to bring her to you, but it's not. I'm afraid if I do something wrong, it's just I'm gonna lose her. Oh wow, weird things are happening with my computer. I don't even live anymore. This is like so crazy. If you can't see me, sorry guys. Try my best here. Okay, now it says you.
She's the only one who can't see me.
You can hear me, and it's because I'm trying to do something that I forgot how to do. Oh my god, I need to go to school to learn how to do. Well, I'm still. I brought cancel. Can everyone?
Oh my gosh. Bye, Sandra. Oh, dear me. I don't know what she's done. Can you hear me, Jamie? Can you see me, Jamie? Can you hear me? Yes, Sandra is having technical difficulties. Please hold. I can hear you and see you. Where's she gone? I'm going to message her. Can't hear you. Hey, Mila. I'm on with Sandra, not the other way around. Maybe I'll just jump off. I don't use Restream. Leave. I'll leave and then I'm going to come back. So can somebody just tell her in the chat that I'm going to leave and then come back?
Wait, don't leave. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hi. I think, can you hear me now, Caroline?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I think I just left there when I tried to add you. I think that's what happened. I think I just left live and then came back.
There is probably a little bit of lag happening here as well.
Really? Are you still seeing it?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave and then come back.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Do it. Let's see if that's it. Okay, Caroline's gonna hop out, you guys. I don't even know. We were doing so well up until that point. We were doing so well. Believe I can actually send her another invite too. Now I've lost all the live chat. So you guys, if you said something in the last 10 minutes, I probably didn't get it. So let's try it now. I see Caroline coming through. Let's see if I can.
Hello. Hello.
If she shows up. How is it?
It's good, but I think there's still a delay. So if I talk over the top of you, I think it's because it's delayed. Maybe it's just not meant to be, Sandra.
Oh, talk to me about the afterlife. Were you listening to me?
No, I was outside and I came in and I thought, yeah, I need to have this rest.
He's like, I was listening, Sandra. No, I was just talking about the afterlife, and I had invited you and one or two other people that if they wanted to come in and add something to the conversation. You're like, I wasn't even here. So, hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, Damie said that Indy was
I don't even know what your discussion was about, so fill me in first.
Yeah, I was just talking about how, really just addressing how, and was gone for a while, and just from people going like, oh, what's going on? And I was at a lot of people didn't know you were one person that I was ill, and that talking about the afterlife, about how we can energetically pull in, either pull in or be depleted by work, whether it's tarot reading or it's my case or the rods, that it can really pull and if have the energy to give. It's kind of like if they take all of the fuel we have, then we've got nothing left, right? So I was kind of explaining how that all went down for me, and I was also talking about top 5, and I'd love to get your top 5 of what you do to work with energy. So just a brief, sorry for this, all the first part, are going to be sage,
yes.
burning sage.
Yes.
Heart on me as I speak. And then I got the Native Americans at last powwow was at. Got that's 2.
Yes.
And then I've got, of course, this old standby Palo Santo. I don't know if it would be on your top 5, but I've got copal. I've got copal, which is the tree that is offered. Okay. So copal, it's spelled COPAL. It's the tree resin. That in Australia?
No. Well, I haven't seen it. I've not even heard of it.
It's so, more of a Native American thing. And then my last thing, water. So I use the Florida douse on myself. Florida water. I don't know. Again, it's just that Australians really, but those are my top 5 to kind of work with energy. What do you use, Karen?
Can you hear me?
The top 5. What do you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my top 5 are my essential oils. Every day I use essential oils like I use Palo Santo, as I just showed you before, the Palo Santo stick, which I burn. I'm very sensitive to the smoke, so I have to do it when I'm not around. And then I use the oils. It just depends on how I feel for the day. I use incense. I use candles. I use the stick that you just showed before. Like I use this Palo Santo. Where are you? Over here a lot.
Yeah.
That I use that a lot because it doesn't hurt. Well, not hurt. It just doesn't affect me as much. But I find if I do a lot of coughing, I need to back off on it. And just my crystals. Like I have crystals all around me. Like they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, they're my
crystals are like I don't even mention. I didn't even talk about candles because I like I was saying, it's just kind of a given about it. I was trying to think of things people wouldn't automatically think of for energy clearing. You know, I was going to ask you because I didn't essential oils. What would you say your top? Why do you use them?
Well, geez, Sandra, hang on. I use the frankincense and myrrh.
Okay. That's our Christmas incense.
Frankincense and myrrh, and I mix them into what you call. Somebody had mixed them for me before. It's called Angels Around Me or Angels for Me, but I put them in one of those diffusers, and it just gives off that all the time. So they don't like the smells of essential oils. So I use that a lot. It's always on somewhere in the house. It's always on. And for clearing, I actually walk around with the sage or the Palo Santo, and I just do a few mantras that I do as I walk around, and I go from one end of the house to the other, and just make sure that I open up cupboards and just under the beds and things like that. So I do all of that. What else? Just state the intention on whatever you use.
Yeah.
State the intention. There has to be intent behind whatever you
comment. Mila, sorry, I heard our sound is weird. Mila commented she knew about Florida water. Of course, Spanish they say agua Florida, agua Florida. So that's again water, and I feel like the reason why a lot of Australians wouldn't know, Mila, and tell me if you know this. This is predominantly Central and South American. At least this bottle, I know Florida water is used in different places around the world. Huh?
What does it do? Does it you just flick it around the house or something? Do you?
Yeah, I'm wondering if Mila could in on this, on why Central and South Americans depend on it. Justin in a spray bottle, and he just missed himself before he does any shamanic work, and then he'll miss me too. And I had a housekeeper from Ecuador 20 years ago. I got really sick, and she said, take your shirt and took this out, and she brought. I didn't know this. And I said, are you putting perfume on me? And she's like, no. And she gave me a whole massage with the Florida water. And I didn't know it was Florida water till I felt it last weekend. So,
yeah. Okay. Well,
I'd heard the things she used on me so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know it's really for, except for the clear, but I don't know why we do it. And then Mila said we have Palo Santo water too. Oh, yes, Mila. Yes, I do have a little bottle of Panto clear the air. Thank you for bringing that up because I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I always carry crystal around with me. It's always in my wallet or in my person. It's just or here. Like these very rarely come off. So that's my go-tos each day. And plus, in the mornings, my other go-to is just doing my daily mantra in the shower, because the water is very clearing.
Yeah, water and fire, right? Water and air, both very cleansing. So
Yeah.
what I was hoping to ask you about is that, well, because I feel like I've been getting a lot of people saying, no, well, when we pass over, this happens or that happens. I wonder what your take is on when we pass. Is it kind of a one shoe, or do you kind of feel like
No.
we have more to say about where we go?
Okay, so when you say we have more to say about where we go, where I believe we go is into a transition place, a place of transition where we go to overlook or look over what we've done in this particular life. What lessons did we learn? What didn't we learn? What are we going to take to the next life with us? How are you going to, like, what did you actually learn? So for some people it's different. Like, for example, I do believe that people go to there's a place where people go that have suicided and things like that. They go to a different place because they have to work out what it was that couldn't get them through life, why they did what they did. And that takes them a little bit longer to transition. So yes, we go to different places, and like babies that disappear and babies that have, they go to a different place. I believe everybody goes to a different place. It's like, when you go into a shopping center, right? You go to a different place for different needs or different wants. You don't go to one particular shop. It's not one size fits all. You go to different places.
Yeah. I think on the subject you mentioned suicide. I think the thing that makes me that obviously I talk to a lot of people who lost loved ones, and they're looking for answers on a loved one that's committed suicide. And I think being raised as a Christian, and also I was in Catholic church, there's very clear definition about what happens when you leave this willingly, and that you will definitely go someplace bad. And I think for a lot of the people that get left behind when someone passes over that way, they're scared that they're never going to see their loved one. They're scared that their loved one went to hell. They're scared their loved one is in purgatory. And the thing I like to explain to people is there's a movie called What Dreams May Come, and it's Robin Williams. It kind of explains this theory of what I'm about to say. So you call your higher power whatever. Some people would call it Yahweh. Some people call it God. Some people call it Muhammad. Some people call it the sun. Whatever your higher power is, right? Higher power loves you. Your higher power loves you. It's, in my religion, it's my father. And my father always want me to come home. My father, no matter how much trouble I got in, come on, you're going to have to deal with this when you get here, but come home, right? Our higher power wants us home. In that movie, if you guys get a chance, What Dreams May Come, Robin Williams, the idea is life. It's their version of how we go to, or a place of purgatory, as they call it in religion. It's a place we chose, and we imposed upon ourselves. We believe that we don't deserve to go home.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely not true. You absolutely do deserve to go home. If you think higher power doesn't know, you guys, that you've been struggling, if you think higher power doesn't know the pain, your higher power is the pain in your heart. And when someone takes their life, you guys, it's not like a willy-nilly thing, like, oh, I'm just going to do this. There's an incredible pain, and they just want the pain to stop. And if you think your higher power doesn't understand that, not only feel it with you, feel the pain.
Yeah.
Of course, your higher wants you home, right? But you have the power to not go. If you say, well, I killed myself and I'm a bad person, I don't deserve to be in heaven. But it would be like that. It would be like, in my belief in God, it's like God and I going through a hard time. I'm
So
in
that's
pain.
still a place of transition. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in a lot. I can't do this
Yeah.
anymore. I can't more. And
Mm-hmm.
I take my own life. And now I've passed over and I see God and he's like, come on, Sandra, come on. Come. No, I can't because you don't know God. You don't know something bad. I can't go. And I turn my back away.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like I understand when we've lost people, it's not that the church was trying to intentionally do something bad to us by saying this, even though it causes a lot of harm. When the church and religion tries to say, if you commit suicide, bad things are going to happen to you.
Yeah.
It was old-fashioned way of maybe making you hesitate when you go through a hard time.
Yeah.
And don't consider that because suicide is not an option. Guess what, you guys? If you get frustrated and you want to leave this planet, your problems are going to follow you. They're going to follow you, and you're going to have to deal with it either on the other side or come back over. But it's not going to go away. The pain that you're feeling, yeah, it's so. It'll reach out to someone here and try to get through it and to find the strength, right? Then to leave. So I understand why religion teaches us, but I just want there, and I'll bet each one of you that's listening might know of either passed over willingly or they have a family member or a friend that's lost someone. It's really important, you guys, that you know that person is not condemned. They are not bad. They did not hell. If they are floating in the middle world, if they are having trouble transitioning, if they are having trouble ascending, it's because it's self-imposed. They feel their guilt. And I think for me, working in my mediumship, it's really important to me sometimes to tell people, you can go, like you're loved. You can go home. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be sad. Beautiful place waiting for you. That's from being on this physical plane and hearing, oh, do it. It's really bad, right? If you think for a second, big power doesn't love you more could ever even imagine. Oh my God, you guys, the loves for you guys. If you think that that's crazy to think your higher power would be like, well, no, you did something wrong. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to have to process or go to school or go through some sort of learning and school to understand it better. I'm saying that, but what I'm saying to you is, don't believe for a second that you're going to go somewhere bad. No, go ahead, take your own life. No, because whatever was
Jamie
bothering you in this life.
Point. Jamie has a good point. She says, thank you for saying this, Sandra. I see souls all the time who took their own life, and my goal is to teach them they damn themselves to not God or not source.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. If there's one thing that Eddie goes away with, it's that. And I was talking to someone at dinner tonight, and we were talking about spirituality. It's just crazy. We think that the things we believed in our life travel over to the other side with us like that.
Yeah.
It's just especially for the people that are left here. And I've lost people to suicide, and I know that they were struggling, and they're going to have to go through some processing, but not for a second. I talked to them, you guys. I've talked to people that have committed.
Yes.
They're not there. So I'm not saying I'm Christian. I go to church. I'm not saying don't go to church. Don't be Christian, but don't necessarily believe everything that you hear, because there's a lot, like Jamie was saying, there's a lot of spirits that get confused because I don't deserve to go.
Yes.
Because I did. Your higher power.
And they stay in confusion for however long it takes to go through. And people like Jamie, the Dark Phoenix, are the people that work with them to try and get them to understand that it's okay. Don't be. They're still stuck in that I don't know what you call it, Jamie, whether, they're stuck in that transition and they're still stuck with this idea, like you said, Sandra, that they're not worthy to move over there. And until they feel worthy, they stay there. And people like Jamie, she just works through that with them. So, and sometimes that can take long, long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's probably 5 reasons that people stay and don't ascend. I think that's the big one. And so I kind of felt the need tonight to explain that, because so many people are just so, it's really hard for me. It's conflicting for me because I'm Christian and I was raised going to church, and the fact that I went to church as a kid, because I think it makes me a better person. I think a lot of really good ideas, for the Bible, Christians say, stands for basic instruction before leaving Earth. And I feel like for me, it's been that way. Like I've learned to treat people.
I didn't know that.
Well, it's people. Okay, in the Christian community, it's like a little thing we say. It's basic instructions
before leaving. Oh, okay. Well, you just taught me something, Sandra.
Well, it's a silly thing, but
no, it's not.
Well, if we can look at, I'm not just saying the Bible, guys, because I've read into the I Ching, which is a Chinese religion, and I've read into Tao Te Ching, which is for Taoism, and I've read a lot of spiritual books, right? And I think if we can look at them as a life manual and a general instruction, they still think that it's definitely conflicting for me, because when I hear a spirit, and Jane, I'd like to hear you chime in on this, because I don't know what background you had. It's kind of weird when you're talking to a spirit and a spirit tells you it's not that way. You've been hearing one thing your whole life, and then you talk to the other side and it's like, no, that wasn't true. That just kind of bothers me,
Well, I was actually brought up Roman Catholic, believe it or not. So there's a lot of stuff there. But even when I went to the church as a child, I was always sitting back thinking, because I've always, since I was this big, asked questions. And nobody could ever answer me the questions that I needed to know. So I never really took on board any one religion until it sat properly with me. So, the Roman Catholic, like I was baptized. Okay, so they dressed me in white and I went through this ceremony, but I didn't feel any different. It didn't do anything for me. So, who knows? It's just, it's weird.
Yeah. And Jamie said, she's seen many reasons why they agree with that, but I just feel like our hang-ups from life just incredible to me, how they can affect when we cross over. It's just so it's so weird, because imagine I will always, that when I die, let go of everything from Earth, ascend. It's not really true, because we do tend to hold on to certain. I think that's something I've learned in my mediumship, is that these people that come through have their own personality, and to me, it's crazy. Every time I meet someone new, and I'm like, oh my God, why is this person talking like this? Like someone said the other day, I was doing a meeting with someone, and he had lost his dad. His dad just died. He said, I'm so sad. I'm sad. I'm so sad. I miss my dad. And I was like, okay, not knowing anything. And I said, well, the first thing is, he has 3 things he wants to tell you. The first thing is, that took care of him at the assisted care. Only know if we ask around to find out the second one. He wants you to bring them something as a gift to thank them, care of him, because at the end of his life, he couldn't communicate, and he wants to show his appreciation. And the guy said, my dad was a total gift giver. So the 2 is, they still haven't freaking cremated him, and it's aggravating him to his body. And looking at, they have not him. Can you please call and figure the heck they're not cremating him, and when it's scheduled, because it's bothering him. And he said, well, that's true. He wants his ashes added to my mom's, who died 2 years ago. they want to be in, crematory, or I don't know what you call
What? Yeah.
it, mausoleum, whatever. So I said, so with your mom, so just call them. Don't be a jerk about it. Say, hey, just checking to see when I can pick up my dad's ashes. And then you should get an idea. And I said, the third thing is he keeps saying, his son, you need to pick yourself up by your britches. And he got really quiet, and I was like, uh-oh. He goes, oh my God, my dad totally bad. I said, yeah, he was like a tough guy, right? He was like, Mr. like, boys don't cry, and why are you crying? And it's like, yeah, that was totally like, he doesn't like to see you crying and falling apart, because he's saying, mom, now, like, this is where I want to be. You should be happy right now, not like falling apart, So I think how his personality and his words traveled, even though he's ascended. So part of us still stays who we are,
Yeah. Until they've given, well, that's subjective as well. So, and the first thing that I thought of when you said that was until it is settled, until the message has been heard by the person that needs to hear it.
Yeah.
Then they can, and then it will be accepted. Oh my God, you could go down so many rabbit holes with this. But you are actually right. They do have their own personalities. I mean, just because they've passed over, they don't become one with the universe. They're still, as you said, they're still their own personality. And why is that? Why is that? Is this something that happens when you go pass over? Jamie, talk to us. Tell us what you think. It's like a gaff. I think I keep coming back to this word. It's like a gaff of souls, and all of these souls are together, but they're still having to give messages to the people that they love here on Earth. The soul family, they're together. I don't know. Do people in that gaff, do people when they come together in this, they have a last life, and when it's their last life, do they move on to another? Do they ascend somewhere else? It's just like, I have so many questions still. The soul is its own creation. How it is in death is how it is in life. They do not change like people think they do, Jamie says.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just says
it reminds me. It reminds me of when it snows. So when there's billions and billions of snowflakes, and each one completely individual, right? Each one, there are no two snowflakes like. And when we see all the snowflakes together, all makes this beautiful white curtain falls from the sky.
Yes.
So
that's just
I wonder
gorgeous.
when we cross over. Yeah, and I almost wonder, like, when we cross over, we have our own little individuality, but when we cross over, we become a part of the bigger picture.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And Jamie says the same. She says, I think we are taught the dead know nothing, so we assume that the soul is without personality. I actually like that, Jamie. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
I actually agree with that. So, what I'm interested in is when how many, I mean, there's got to be so many lives that we deal with, and at some point those lives move to something else. So do we move to another dimension? Do we move to another planet? Do we go back to our star where we came from originally? It's just open. It's just so open. Open.
Yeah. And that's why I think I asked you that question. I asked you that in earlier, is that, do you say so? Because I find that different people tell me different things that have passed over. Sorry, not living. That people will say that they came back and they wanted to come back into living, and they now are on this side again as another person, and they're living another, for whatever reason, didn't finish what they came here to do, or I don't know. That what I call the middle earth or the middle world, which is between plane and then ascending to heaven. There's this middle standby section, right? And so it's kind of like the level of LA. It's like this one little thing across the sky. And I feel like they stay there either because, again, maybe suicide, maybe they have loved ones that over or they're concerned about. It reminds me of the reading I popped in on your live and was talking to mom of someone, and I'm not going to name names, but I think you might remember that the person couldn't read because it was too close to them. So just popped live, and I just did a quick read for the woman. Said, I was asked why she's not around as much anymore for her loved one. And the answer was, I'm not worried about her so much anymore. So it was like her concern for her kept her close by. And then once that life would get better, she could go. And she could come back as she needs to, but she ascended. So there's something that I know that needed to go back to school. They needed to learn, and they literally were watching on a screen of their life, like studying and looking at, trying to understand why this might have happened or why. And I don't really understand that part. Like, why are we going to school for that? But for whatever reason, to go to school.
Well, why do they go through that? Are you saying? Because I'm not sure. I mean, I've got this saying, and I don't know why it resonates. I don't even know who told me originally. We in the spiritual community talk about the idea of becoming a more authentic self, a more authentic version of ourselves, where we're sitting more in that appreciation for life, the idea of loving or giving rather than always taking, all that type of thing. If we become a more authentic version of ourselves, there is less to work with up there. So when you get back there and you get asked these questions, what did you learn, and do you feel you need to learn this a little bit more? What is it that you'd like to achieve? Do you feel you've achieved that? And it's all and nobody lies up there. You can't lie up there. You can't get away from that. Did you learn it? No, I didn't. Well, what part is it that that's how I see it. That's how I see this, a round table discussion with your spiritual team. That's what I see.
Well, and that makes sense.
And she says, in heaven they are different, more one-like. And then she says, in heaven I feel I feel like they are more one conscious mind.
Interesting.
Parts of the conscious mind.
Yeah, I have had people come through and say that the contract. So I'm wondering if that school section is like where they review, they study, and then they sit down with it would be like a counselor of theirs and say, did you feel like you learned this? Do you need to go back? And how can we best compose that will bring you what you want to work on?
And I mean, some of them actually exit the life that we have here because it's just too dense for them. They can't do it. They agree to come in and do it, and then it's just too dense, so that they go. And these are I'm picking up that these are more the babies, the children that leave. Like, it's just too hard for me. I can't do this. Like, it's too much. And so their exit date is somewhat a lot younger than what everybody else's is, but they still come back when they're ready.
Well, speaking of this time period, a woman who was a really well-known psychic, she considered herself a medium. A lot of know Sylvia Brown. If you go back in her last book was the last book she published before she passed. She died years ago, you guys, but she would always say I'm so concerned about because I see how people come through life and they work on whatever they want to work on, and then they pass over and they come back and they work again. Me, and it time is what weaker is around 2020 that people are choosing not to come back. Like no one's going to come back when they finish out this life on. They're not coming back for the next. She kept saying, "Why is that? Is that because there will be no one here? Like we no longer exist. We're here. We're sitting here talking, unless this is the Matrix, and we're just all in a subconscious program. We are, in fact, here physically. Then what that means is,
oh, that's another rabbit hole.
Well, that's a whole other rabbit hole. Right? But what that means to me, how no, we won't go there. But I interpret that is this: a lot of people stopped coming, you guys, because they knew what was coming right now. They knew that this is the most difficult time for us in humanity.
Yes.
Now, doing that as I drive my SUV, getting ice cream, and I'm worried that it might break down. Boo-hoo-hoo, Sandra is so stressed out trying to get home because she might have called roadside assistance for a tow truck. I'm not saying that my life is harder now than it ever been in humanity in that sense. What I'm saying is that there is a transition, and whatever you believe, whatever school of thought you're in, there's a transition going on, and we are literally transitioning. And some of us will say our DNA being changed. Others will say it's an energy transition, and some are ascending and some are descending. There's a lot of difference, but we literally are living in this period that could not be more difficult. What's that?
They all mean the same thing. Descending, ascending, transitioning, they all mean the same thing.
Yeah. And the reality is, I think Sylvia Brown didn't see this coming. And I think that a lot of souls were warned, went to school, and they were writing out their contract, and their mentors were like, well, you want to come 2015? I don't know if you want back then, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Honestly, Carolyn, I feel like only the strongest to come in and be here at this time. And the sad part of this, you guys, is that I've seen a lot of people that are leaving us. They're leaving us through addiction, substance abuse, depression, suicide, weird circumstances. They're leaving because they can't thing that we're going through. So it's kind of like Caroline was. They just, I'm out. But some people just chose not to come through at all. I ain't touching this with a 10-foot. Have fun, kids. And Caroline and myself, and Jamie, and Mila, whoever else is here on this planet at this moment, living. You guys are the toughest of the tough, because you knew walking into the front lines of something that you couldn't even comprehend, and you were like, let's go, bring it on. So all of you.
We're waking up the people who actually can wake up. The ones that are still asleep are meant to stay asleep. They're the ones that are the triggers for the people who will wake up or who are waking up. So it's all in the grand scheme of things. There are some people who are just not meant to grow this life. And it's constant triggers for us, but those triggers are what helps us grow through that. It's like, wow.
Do you think, Caroline, can I ask you, do you think that we are, as we go through this very, very, very difficult, would you say that if you look at a timeline, would you say we're at the beginning of this process? Let's say the beginning, here's the end of this transition we're going through. Where do you feel like we are at? Are we closer to the beginning? Are we closer to the end? Or
no,
you can choose no?
I actually believe that the children that are coming through now are the children that are going to drive this world in a different direction. So we are that transition, and I believe it is in the first third for us. All right. the halfway mark of the children that we've got that are coming in, and you know a few personally yourself, as do I. These children are so much different, and I was just talking to this about this to somebody else the other day. They're being brought up differently. They're being shown how to cope with their emotions. They're being taught different things. What they're not being taught is how to survive without these, without the air conditioning, without the heating, they're just not taught that at the moment. So I don't believe that it's at the other end of the scale. We're sort of in the first third of it. And the children of today's children are the ones that are going to be at the halfway mark, three-quarter way mark. That's what I see.
Oh, I agree with you. And I also believe, and this is just my personal opinion, that the kids that are born, they have fully transitioned. They have come through fully ascended. Yes. They are the finished product of what you and I will eventually get to. I think I was talking to someone, and again, I'm not going to name names, but if they're on this live, they know who I'm talking about. There is someone that's incredibly gifted, way ahead of these children's time, all them leading these kids, but they're older, a decade older than these kids, these young children that came through ascended. And for some very select few people, and this is one of them, they came through to lead those. And for this movement is that it would be about 10 years before we're done. So the way I look at it is we started to see a few things. I know 2020 seemed like, to me, 2020 was smack because it got cut from, like, let's say 2010. Start looking at 2010, and you start looking at the events and things, how things were going, anxiety and crime was rising.
That was a little set up.
And suicide was right. Yeah. And I feel like at 2020 was kind of the peak, worst case scenario. It really was. And then now I feel like we're on the downhill. And I feel like, I know nobody wants to hear this, but I feel like we won't fully be through this transition in a much better place till 2030. Yeah. However, I'm not saying get better. They are getting better every day. But I definitely would say we're on the downhill. I definitely say we're past the middle mark. If I had to pick, I'd say we're, if you were going with that timeline, it would be 2010 to 2030, with 8 years left. So we're definitely, approaching. Yeah. So that's good, right? We're in a downhill, and it's only going to get better from here. But I just like to keep in mind that if your kid coming through and they're having, there's higher cases of kids being diagnosed with ADHD, autism, all of these spectrum disorders and learning disorders. And some kids are just knocking. There's some really interesting things we're seeing. Don't be so quick to let your doctor prescribe medicine. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your children. That's it. But hesitate and do your research, because remember, this kid is a Ferrari and you're a Honda. And a Honda doesn't understand how a Ferrari.
Gifted ones.
What?
They're the gifted ones. They're actually, they're the gifted ones. They're the ones that are in that, they're being protected from that space where we're moving away from. They're being protected from no, I shouldn't say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. They're being protected from the people who, go around in, let's get the nails done. Let's go up and, make sure that the face is looking good and, get the best sort of clothes to wear. And wow, okay, my next door neighbor's got that. I'm going to see if I can go out and get that because she can't have things better than me. That type of thing. Mm-hmm. They're protected from that.
Well, and they're also, I do also believe, and this is, you guys, this is only opinion. I've never heard any doctor say this, but I've been observing a lot of kids with high-level autism, high-level spectrum disorders, just in not through work, just through play. Yeah. And what I'm finding is that these kids are, like I said, they're being shielded right now because there is such negative energy out there, and they're like a little. Yeah. I think of them as a little bit egg, and the egg keeps them incubated until they're ready to crack open. Yeah. So if your kids are like, oh my God, what is wrong? Like, I have this child and it's like it's an alien kid. It is kind of because again, you're a Honda, and Honda, it can't. A Ferrari doesn't ask a Ferrari. Okay, these kids are so spiritually evolved that they expect you to understand, just love them, and know don't have all the answers. And if you have adults that are struggling, whether it be with depression or even with narcissism, you guys, it's easy for us to love a depressed person, but it's not so easy to love a narcissist. Narcissist is rampant right now, but I want you to try to understand before you get angry. And I'm not saying to give them everything last thing you want to do with a narcissist, but to understand that everybody's with this transition, to maybe not take it so personally when things happen, because what's going on with someone else, you might feel like you're taking it personally, but you really can't right now, because everybody's just trying to manage and trying to get through. You need to take care of yourself first. That oxygen mask, put it on yourself, and once then you can reach out to a certain extent, be there for other people. But it's very dangerous right now, you guys. We're in a dangerous climate because I want you to imagine Caroline and I are on a boat. Caroline falls in the water. Don't worry, Caroline, I'll never let this happen to you. But Caroline can't swim, and now she's doing this and going, Sandra. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to get Caroline. Okay, take my hat off, take my shoes off, jump in the water. And Caroline is flailing, and she's in a panic, and she's not thinking straight, guys. And I go to get her, and I'm Caroline, and now she's pulling out. We're both drowning. Okay, this is what will happen to you. Before you jump in to save Caroline, look around. There might be a lifesaver right there. To a rope, a little buoy that we take out. Okay, we can save Caroline without being taken under ourselves. That's the best right now when you're dealing with people that even more normal, that you want to be there for them, but you have to be smart about it. Okay, don't just hey, you know what, my friend was struggling right now and he lost his job. He needs 10 grand and I just gave it to him. Oh, now we don't have money to fix the car that broke down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can never give it the expense of yourself.
Yeah, you can be a good person. It's a good people have boundaries, you guys. Good.
That's it.
And if you don't have boundaries, you need to learn them right now, because you've taken advantage of. I promise you. And it doesn't have to be just financially. It could be emotionally. I could call Caroline and be like, Caroline, I'm having the worst day. This person did this to me. And Caroline gets off the phone and she's like, God, I feel like crap now. Headache. And I just, this is horrible. Call in tomorrow. It's me again. And Caroline, and you know what happened? What I'm doing is I don't know how to cleanse energy. I don't know how to create my own. I don't know how to nurture self-care routine for myself. And I see it's like this angel with around her and wings. And I'm like, Caroline, take care of me. Caroline got so much energy. She can't expend all of me and feel depleted and worn out of every phone call. So if you're on that end, you guys, and you find that you're the one that's constantly trying to, reach out to people, stop, look, and listen. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this, but in California, okay, was always stop, look, and listen, right? Any kind of crisis situation, we want to stop. We want to look around and observe what's going on. And if you feel like, gosh, I'm that person, it's okay. I'm not blaming you. You're a bad person. I'm saying you're struggling right now. So now, poor Caroline. Okay, Caroline's gonna have a nervous breakdown. Try to get a therapist, you guys. Reach out for a support group. Facebook has 1 million of them. Reddit has them. Talk to a friend. And more importantly, talk about the things we do to clear our energy better. Okay, so that looks like you have a routine, and I don't care who's telling you don't have time for it today. This is what you do. La 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 la. Okay, you don't listen. You do it anyways because if you don't put your own oxygen mask on,
Yeah.
you can be there for others. Okay, nobody's blaming you if you people and asking for a lot of help, but it might be time to look and see what you can do yourself to improve your situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I won a ton of friends with that one.
Absolutely.
I'm
sure.
everyone
Or do a
loves
bit of self-reflection and figure out what's going on.
Listen, I've been that person. That person. There was a time in my life when I needed. What?
So have I. We all.
Yeah, and I mean, I could think of a period of my life when, and my ex, who is now has now passed on, we were fighting over our son, who was 4 at the time, and the son had slept a night away with his mom. Right? You know how us moms get about your mama bear about our kids, and he was like, decided to come one day and pick him up and just not bring him at all. Period. And said, if you want him, take me to court. And I literally fell apart. Like, it was my whole life. He was my whole life. I didn't know how to function.
Yeah.
I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I was like, absent-minded. I couldn't pay bills. I couldn't do anything. I was a wreck in that situation.
Yeah.
My friends had to come and pick me up physically and be like, eat food now, or because you stink. Yeah. And now I want you to go to sleep and we'll deal with this tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm not through periods of time like that, but there came a point when like, come on, smack me around now, Sandra, stop. Yeah, you got to wake up, dude, because this is not a good mother for your son. Like, you need to grip with the fact that, like, this is not going to lose your mind over it, right? So, Kara, I've been there. It's, reach out to someone, but just make sure you're not pulling them under with you.
Yeah. Breathe and breathe. Just gotta breathe. Let the other person breathe as well. Let the person that you're speaking to breathe as well.
I like what Jenny Sky said.
Yeah, kind boundaries.
Kind boundaries. Electric fence. That is so good. Such a good quote.
Absolutely.
Like, you can set boundaries, you guys. You guys think a lot. I know. So someone watching this right now is like, but I don't want to tell them not to call me every time, get in a fight with their boyfriend. Good boundaries. And you don't have to let it not be an electric fence, Yep. If you don't want to say, you call me,
doesn't need to be
telling me about your boyfriend. Huh?
Yeah. Doesn't need to be. Doesn't need to be an electric fence.
I feel like we've covered a lot, Caroline. What do you think?
Yeah, I think
so. Can you tell us?
I was expecting to see.
We're expecting.
Sorry? Huh?
What
did
you say?
Yes, we've covered a lot. And where is Justin? Wasn't he supposed to be on today?
He was not supposed to be on. He is camping, and I did try to call him, but his signal was bad. And he's with his family, and I feel family time. I did try to get on message Lucky, since I know Lucky talks to the other side. Yeah. And it was a last minute thing today, and I reached out. But people have their own lives, and my thing was mainly just because it was really bothering me that so many people are like, have these misconstrued ideas about when people die. I thought maybe something that somebody's going to see in this live will help them, and I feel like we covered more than a few things. I had people, I had 500 people that saw this event and ended with a like or whatever. So whenever they find this live, I feel like this live is valuable for people that have lost others.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So when are you going?
Sorry, when am I what?
When are you going live next?
Oh, I'm going live with Lockie on Wednesday at 7:30.
Are you able to click in the link right now? Comment section? Do you know how to do that?
And do
A link, a
I'm
link
on
to
the
your
live on
event,
my phone. Huh?
or
Oh,
yeah, either click in your event or your page. And you guys, if for those of you, for the 5 people in the world that don't know what Caroline does, she's an amazing tarot reader, intuitive. I mean, I don't even know. I can list all the things she is, and then she does these lives with Lockie Cleary, who is fascinating. That chap is very
yes,
fascinating. He definitely side, but I also feel like he's a bit of an intuitive along with that. So
yeah,
I definitely would check them out if you get a chance, especially if you have one. It makes it difficult for me to do. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny. Coming by. But it makes it difficult for me when when I'm using these rods. Um, I kind of go into my own zone, and then you would silence going for like 5 songs. So I figured tonight it would be more of a discussion. And just as an emergency backup, I had chakra card, needed a chakra card. It really is the card reader, and Lockie is, an intuitive and a medium. And does he read cards, Caroline?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay.
I'm shifting. I don't know what's going on. There's new gifts coming in, so I'm shifting. Like I've got the cards here, and they direct me to what is going on with that person's life. But I'm picking up. They're just giving me little bits of information, and sometimes that information is about a person that's passed over. I don't know how it comes in. I don't know whether it comes in differently than anybody else, but it's intriguing me.
Yeah, I've been noticing you've been doing medium work like purposely. It's like all of a sudden,
Yes, exactly.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty
It
cool. I like
is.
it.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so Caroline Thomas, you guys, if you're watching this um, if you're rewatching this and it's not, if you look at the comment section right now under Caroline Thomas, she lives, and you can go to that, and yeah, hi Cassie. Um, but even if you're not a person that can make that particular event, that's okay. Go to her page and like and follow her page, because she's much more
Yes.
regular lives than I am. So even if you miss that one, probably there's going to be one within a few days.
Exactly. There is. Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
And
Yep. Just look for
yeah,
the
so
event.
look for the events, yes, or just hit, and make sure you hit notifications, because Facebook, you guys, is doing weird stuff. I liked someone's page, hit notification, then it's gone. Like I never liked their page, and I'm like, why is that? Has that happened to you, Caroline?
I don't know. Yeah, it has, and I can't work it out. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how they're doing it. Whether they set things up deliberately, like for a time period, and then they just knock it on the head. They actually do ask people, would you like to receive more notifications or less? I don't even look at them anymore. So if you don't look at those particular notifications, what happens to them? Do they stay the same, or do they deliberately change them back? I just don't
Oh,
know.
you know what?
I don't know how.
I've also seen those. I have seen those recently, and I ignored them as well. So I'm wondering if I'm unliking someone's page.
Yeah.
You can answer that.
Hmm.
Okay, that's a good point. Cassie, you are a little late to the party, honey. We're just finishing, but you can watch it. And it's basically, this has just been a discussion about crossing over and different places we go. And of course, everything we've said in the video is for entertainment purposes. We are not gurus. We do not predict future. Okay, we're just trying to say the experience. This is what we've come across. So take it with a grain of salt. And hey, thanks for the 500 followers, you guys. I think today was the 500 followers that I haven't even been. Wow. Okay, cool. So to all the followers out there that might see this live, thanks for following, and I will try to be a little bit more on it. And we have an upcoming live, actually Caroline, and she hasn't made an event for it yet. it's going to
No, I
be
haven't.
depending on where you.
I don't. I don't make the event
It's okay.
until after the last one is
That's
finished, but it's on the 26th.
It is on the 26th if you're in Australia. It's on the 25th.
Yes.
So if you guys want to be sure you hit it, go to my page, and it'll say I'm time traveling with Chan. It'll say time travel with us. It's September 25th. You go on there and you hit like, and you're going to that event. Now we're going to literally pony back or pigtail or however you call it. We're going to literally, as soon as we leave that live, we're going to go into the live.
Oh, is that what you're
Yeah,
doing?
so it's back. Yeah, so we schedule it. So we'll do this time travel thing with Chan, and then we'll go immediately into doing with Caroline following. So, so yeah, it's fun. And if you can't make one, you can make the other. But definitely hit like and going on the tool, because by then I'll have the event info for Caroline, and I can put the comments. So if you guys want to make sure you catch that, do that. And thank you so much, you guys, for joining us. Thanks. Love to see your comments if you're just rewatching on additional things that we haven't really covered that you'd like to hear about, because I forget sometimes that not everyone talks to dead people. And I know Jamie does, but not all of us do that. And I think it's helpful to not act like everybody just automatically knows this stuff. So I just wanted to get on and share with you. And Caroline, my wonderful teacher.
The little ones that are coming through, they're the ones that are going to be able to do it, because it's being opened up to them by us.
They will teach us. Student will become the teacher enough. So
that's it.
Caroline, so much love to you, and guys. Good night, Cassie and Jamie and Lon and White Wolf, and we will see you guys soon.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye. Good afternoon.